welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where today we're going to be exploring the world of modulo arithmetic, I think. This puzzle on screen is called Leftover Goodies. It's by Playmaker6174, and Mark has recommended that I give this a try on the channel today. He says it's been recommended to us a few times, and he's had a go at it, and he gives me a warning. He says, be careful, it is easy to make a mistake. So that is our task for today. I'll read you the rules of this one in just a second or two. Playmaker6174, of course, is an absolutely superb solver as well as setter. So I imagine we're in for a treat. Now, my first job today is to say a very happy birthday to Jessica Start. Now, Jessica, I hope you have the most tremendous day today with a suitably magnificent cake. And your husband, Jason, I hope, Jason, this has won you Husband of the Year. Good luck with that. Now, next, over on Patreon, we have got Kinlux's incredible Sudoku hunt. You guys have been solving that aplenty, which is incredibly impressive. If you are stuck on those puzzles, get yourselves over to the Discord server. Go to the Patreon chat channel there, and you will find lots and lots of people who can help you, including Kinlux. So there'll be no better place to find hints and tips on how to solve Kinlux's puzzles. Other than that, we've just released over on Patreon as well all of the videos to show you how to solve the monthly reward for April. So they've just been released. I know I need to give you the winner of the monthly reward. I haven't picked it out yet, so I will do that hopefully this evening and announce that in the video tomorrow. And other than that, there was a bonus video today on the channel. I had a go at Dave Gorman's new cryptic crossword, which appeared in the Independent on Saturday, and it was a very fine puzzle indeed. And I tried to do the video as a sort of tutorial, so I did talk through the clues in quite some depth. So if you're new to cryptic crosswords and you want to sort of find out what they're all about, then I would recommend that video. I will try and remember to put a card on the screen right there. Now, that's it. Let's get on with Leftover Goodies, and I'll read you the rules of this one. They are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. A circle with a number in it that connects two cells shows the remainder when the bigger digit is divided by the smaller digit. E.g., 9 and 2 would have a 1 in a circle between them, since 9 divided by 2 is 4, with 1 as the remainder. So I sort of understand that. So let's look at this domino here. This has a 2 between it. I'm not going to worry about the 1s and the 0s yet. Let's just focus in on the 2 and see if we can understand. In fact, let's look at this 2 so we don't pollute our thinking. So if this was a 9, then we would know that this has to be a 7, does it? I think it does. Because obviously 9 divided by 7 is 1 with a 2 remainder, which is what the clue is saying. So 7, 9 is certainly a possible way of filling this domino. I'm just trying to think about whether it's the only way if this is a 9. I think it probably is. You could put a 4 here, but that won't work because 4 does go twice into 9, but it leaves a remainder of 1. 3 gives a remainder of 0. 2 gives a remainder of 1. 5 gives a remainder of 4, 6 gives a remainder of 3. So yes, so if you get a 9 on the 2 domino, here is a tip. You can write the other digit in. It will be 7. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. And now I get to play Let's Get Cracking. So I am tempted to say that higher remainders must be more interesting than lower remainders here. Because a 0 remainder is just saying that one number divides another. And there are a lot of those possibilities using the numbers 1 to 9 inclusive. 4 has to be a number higher than, so we've got to be dividing by a number that's at least 5. In fact it is 5, isn't it? It must be 9 divided by 5. That's the only way of getting a 4 as a remainder. With Sudoku digits. Yeah, that's a 5-9 pair. There we go, we've started the puzzle. So probably what we need to do is to look at 3s next. We've got loads of 3s all over the place. Including lots of them in box 1, look. So what have we got with 3s? We must be dividing by at least 4 in order to be able to generate a remainder of 3. So if we were to divide 7 by 4, we would get a remainder of 3. If we were to divide 8 by 5, we would get a remainder of 3. And if we divide 9 by 6, we would get a remainder of 3. And I'm surprised that Mark told me to be careful on this puzzle, because this is right up his street with copious amounts of pencil marking. Okay, right, that digit is interesting to me, because where does that digit live in box 1? And the answer is surely in one of those two cells only, because it can't repeat. And perhaps the best way to show this is, if this is 4, 7, just for an example, then obviously if we try and put 7 into either of those cells, any of these 4 cells, its accompanying digit is going to be the 4, because we need to generate the 3 remainder. And that 4 is going to repeat in the box, therefore. So, right, so this is quite good actually, because now if you look carefully in this box, given that the purple digit, which is either here or here, is a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, that's going to give us a virtual 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sextuplet in box 1, which means this domino must be selected from 1, 2 and 3, and what you cannot do is put 1 here, because 1 will generate a remainder of 0. Whenever you divide anything by 1, you will always get a 0 remainder. So that's 2 and 3. Right, so it's 3 divided by 2 equals 1. There must be a 1 in one of those two cells by sudoku-age. 2 must be in one of these cells by sudoku-age. Probably we have to look here now, do we? It's the mark of a talented setter, when it's sort of signalling where you've got to look next. This is probably not where we look next, and I'm going to look like a complete prize Charlie, but I'm going to look here next. So both of these have a remainder of 0. Ah. Oh. Right, I was about to say that one of these digits can be a 1, but it can't be actually, because of this is really cute. Because if you put a 1 here, for example, it would work perfectly well for the 0 domino vertically, but it can never fulfill the 2 remainder clue going horizontally that it would be connected to. So actually, you can't put 1 in either of these squares. So we have to look. We're going to have to be looking at a multiple of 2 or a multiple of 3. So here, well, both digits. We're going to either have 4 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2, 8 divided by 2, or 6 divided by 3, or 9 divided by 3. So we've got quite a lot of options here. But we can't have 9. Right, okay, because there's a 2 remainder here, you can't have 9 in either of these. And that's because when we looked down here, we said 9 always had to go with 7. So that doesn't work. So you can't have 9. So we've definitely got... Right, so we've definitely got 6 in this domino, because it can't be 4 and 8, because they would have a remainder of 0 when you divide the 8 by the 4. So that means this is not 6 and 9. So this is either 4, 7 or 5, 8. So there's now... Yeah, okay. So whatever this is, it's either 4, 7 or 5, 8. So there's a 4 or an 8 in this domino, and there's a 4 or an 8 in this domino. So that means there's no more 4s and 8s in row 4 of this puzzle, which probably affects this somehow. So what's that saying? Is that saying this has to be odd? There's a 4, 6, 8 triple here. Whoa, I forgot to turn my phone down. I'm actually just going to do that, because if WhatsApp starts pinging, you guys know exactly how that works, and that will be very, very distracting. So 4, 6 and 8 into these. This has to be something where... So we have... Right, we've got to generate a remainder of at least 2. So the divider here is at least 3. So it could be 3 and 5, couldn't it? So 5 divided by 3. It can't be 6 divided by 4. It can be 7 divided by 5. It can't be 8 divided by 6. Or it could be 9 divided by 7. Oh, that's a bit... I was hoping that was going to do better. So these are odd, but they don't seem to be very restricted. So it's either 5 and 3, 7 and 5, or 9 and 7. So there's no common digit here. This cell now, does that have to be even? Because it's leaving a remainder of 1 when it's either dividing into an odd number or being divided by an odd number. Well, yeah, that must be right. So this cannot be, this cannot be odd, can it? Because if I divide an odd number by an odd number and then we try and work out what the remainder is, it will be at least 2 if it's not exact. Yes, it will be at least 2. So this is even, and it's not 2. So this cell, I think, is 4, 6, or 8. Oh, but that can be have no right. Now, what about that digit then? Because again, it's on a 0, which would allow the possibility for this to be a 1. But this cell is in a domino with this one, which needs a 1 remainder. So that removes the ability for this to be a 1. So this has to have the same parity, doesn't it, as this one? I feel like that must be true. Yeah, and actually we can't use 2 either. So surely... Oh, no, it doesn't have to have the same parity. It could be 3, 6. Oh, no, it's not 3, 6 because there's a 3 in one of these. Ah, right, okay. Oh, I can see what Mark meant now. This is very easy to miss a possibility on. I keep wanting this to revert back to being a parity puzzle, but I just don't think it is. So... does anything else go with 6 here? Because if it doesn't, I think this has to be a 4-8 domino. 6. No, nothing apart from 3 goes with 6. Well, apart from 2, but that won't work. Right, so this is not 6. So surely this has to be even, therefore, and must be 4 or 8, because it can't be 2. And it can't be 6, because that would need a 3 here. Or a 2, which it can't be. So 4, 8 is what I reckon this domino is, which means that domino is not 4, 8. So what is this now? This is either... Ah, no, this is beautiful. Right, this is a 4, 8 domino, and that means this can't be 5, 8 anymore. And it can't be 4, 7 anymore. That's beautiful. So that's a 6, 9. Which means, this is beautiful. Yeah. So now this digit is a 6 or a 9 and goes in one of those squares, which of course creates a 1, 6, 9 triple in this box, which removes 6 and 9 from these cells. So I've now got 4s, 5. Right. So I've got a 4, 7 and a 5, 8 domino up here. I've got by sudoku, I've got 1, 5 and 7 in here. And I can't put 1 on a 1 remainder domino. So, right, so this is either 8 divided by 7 or 5 divided by 4. And that means... Oh, that means I'm stuck. So I've got a 1, 5, 7 triple here. I've got a 0 domino here, which has not got a 1 or a 2 on it. So does that have to be 4, 8 or 3, 6? No. Oh no, it could be 9 divided by 3. Oh, good grief. Right, I'm going to check this one very carefully. So this one is a 0, which means that one number divides exactly into the other without using 1s and 2s. So if there is a 3 on that domino, it could go with 6 or 9. That feels right. If there's a 4 on the domino, it must go with 8. And there can't be we don't get to put 5 and 10. So So this is either a 4-8 pair, or there is definitely a 3 on the domino. It's beautiful again. It's not 4-8, because that breaks both options for that, which would is this domino is either 7 divided by 4 or 8 divided by 5. So there's always got to be a 4 or an 8 in that domino. So that's got to be 3 for sure, dividing into either 6 or 9. Which means 3 is in one of these 3 cells by sudoku. I guess it's this one next. Let me just think about this one a bit more though. I sort of feel like it would be very nice to know. Well, it'd be very nice for this to do something more than it's done. Right, actually no, to be fair, I think this, I can see why this still matters, because this, the divider here, the divisor, is that what we have to call it? I don't know. You know what I mean. The denominator in our fraction can't be 2 or 3. So it's either going to be 4 and 6, I want to say. There's probably some reason that's not possible. If it was 4 and 6, it would have to be this way round. Okay, so it's 4 or 6, or 5 and this is interesting. Right, it's not 5 and 7, because this square can be neither of those things because of the 5, 7, 1 triple here. So it's not 5 and 7. So can it be 6 and 8? It can possibly, but only if the 8 is here and the 6 would be here again. So this is looking quite good. Oh, but it can be 7 and 9, can it? Oh, you rotten thing. Hang on, 7 and 9 would have to be this way round. 7 here, 9 here. So this has got 3 options if this is right. And this has got 2 options. If that was 7, if this was 7, you'd have to put a 7 here. So this would be 4, 7. I want to say that doesn't work, actually. If that's 7, I've got to make that 4, 7. But this is 4, 8. So that means that has to be 4. Yet we started this by saying this is 7, and 7 divided by 4 doesn't leave a remainder of 2, it leaves a remainder of 3. So that doesn't seem right. But it's also a bit weird, so let me just think about, is there another way we can see this? If this is 7, this is 9. So that's 3, 6. Oh, here's another way of thinking about this actually. If that's 7, the question then we should be asking is where does 4 go in row 1? Because it doesn't go anywhere. By making this 7, we've knocked it out of this domino, which can't be a 4, 7 domino now, so that's a 5, 8 domino. You can't put 4 here, and you can't put 4 into this cell because it doesn't leave a remainder of 2. So actually that is a 6. I am convinced about that now. So that means this is a 3, 9 pair, which means that's not 9 or 6. That's a 1. So that's not purple anymore. Purple is this one, which means this one is now fully purple. This digit is not 9. Oh, bobbins, it can be 4 or 8. Is that really true? Yes, yes it is. It's either 8 divided by 6 or 6 divided by 4, I think. Oh, 6 means that's a 9. Okay, so that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 6. Is that helpful? Wow, I don't know that it is. What about that? So, oh, I see this is either 4, 5, 7 or 8. Oh, it's not 4 or 8. Right, this is 5 or 7, which I don't know if we know how to... I don't think I know how to resolve this, do I? Wow, okay, so what did all this give me? It's given me some digits in the grid. I've got 2 6s, 2 9s and a 1. I've got a 1 looking down at this triple here, which, that's going to be interesting. Right, this is probably where we look next. Yeah, because I've got to find some digits here, not including 1. So we must have 2 or 3 on this, mustn't we? Because it's either going to be 3, 6, 9 in some order, which it's not because there's a 6 here, or it's going to be 2, 4, 8. That must be right because there's no other possible ways of creating, you know, we need 3 numbers that can divide into each other. Yeah, I think that's going to be 2, 4 and 8, which means that is not 4 or 8, which means this is 4 or 8. Oh, do I know what's on this domino? Oh, no, I do. It had a 6 on it, didn't it? It had a 6 on it, but that's not got a 6 as an option, so that doesn't matter. So this digit now has to be, I want to say odd. I just want to say odd. Does it really have to be odd? Yes, it's the same logic. I think we've done this logic before. I think we did this logic here. This domino, if I know this is even, and we've got to leave a remainder of 1, this can't possibly be even, because that will not have either a 2 or a 0 remainder. So it must be odd. And it's not 1, because 1 would not... Oh, and it's not 5 or 9. Whoa, 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 right, this is interesting. This is 3 or 7, I think. So now I've got a 3, 5, 7, 9 quadruple in box 5, and I've broken the puzzle. I knew... Oh, you are an imbecile, man. What have you done there? I've broken it because this is... I need a 2 remainder. So I need another odd digit, and I can't use 1. Because... Oh, you... What have I done there? So... Is this not 2, 4, 8 then? I need... No, it can't involve higher digits. It just can't. I've got 2 divides into 4 with no remainder. 4 divides into 8 with no remainder. So I must be looking at either 3, 6, 9, which it's not, or I'm looking at 2, 4, 8. That must be right. And then this has to leave a remainder of 1 when either being divided by an even number or dividing into an even. It must be odd. So... And this has to leave a remainder of 2 when it's dividing into an odd number. So if that's 7, we know, we don't know, but that would have to be 5 or 9, which it can't be. So that is definitely not. So this is definitely a 3, even in this silly world where we're trying to understand what I've done wrong. And then this square needs to have a remainder of 2. Oh, it's 8. Oh my goodness me, it's 8. Why could I not see that? That is so strange. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. Right. I hope I haven't missed this possibility elsewhere, actually, when I've been doing... How many times have I looked at a 2 domino? There... Yeah, okay. 3, 8 would be impossible there because we had an 8 in that this quadruple. Here, no, there was a 3 on this domino. Okay, right. So I don't think I've gone wrong. But what I've failed to appreciate is that 8 divided by 3 leaves a remainder of 2, and that's beautiful because it gives me this digit. Right, okay, so we're still, I believe, on track. Now, so that can't be, right, that can't be 8 now, can it? Because that needs a remainder of 2. So this could be 2 or 4. Oh, good grief, this is discombobulated me completely. This can be 2, yeah, 4 divided by 3 or 3 divided by 2, that makes sense. Okay, so the bad thing about this is that it's not exactly revealed to me how I'm meant to be thinking of the puzzle. I know, right, okay. So I see. So now I've got to put 7 into this domino, because this is a 5, 7, 9 triple. And that removes 4, 7 from there. So this is 5, 8 now, which means that is not 8. So this is 4, 6. Right, here we go. Here we go. So this is 4, 6. This is a 2. So this is a 4, 8 pair, which means this is not 4 or 8, which means we can't put 7 or 5. Oh, this is it again. This can't now be 5, 8, or it can't be 4, 7, because we've knocked 4, 8 out of it. This is lovely, isn't it? So this is 6, 9, which means that's 4, and that's 6, which means we don't know what this is, because that still divides perfectly into either. Oh no, we do, because we can use this one. Right, okay, because 3 does not divide into 4, so that's 2, that's 3. And now we can say what exactly? I don't know. This is not... Oh, I see, this 4 is giving us an 8, which means that's a 5 to give us the 3 remainder. So we get 4, 7 at the top of the grid, which gives us another 5 here, which gives us an 8 here. So now we know what these 3 digits are. They are 2, 4, and I want to say 6. So this is a 2, 4, 6 triple. And this is a 1, 3, 7 triple. And that's not 3. So this is a 1 or a 7. 2, 4, 6. We haven't got any... Oh, we've got a 4 here. So that's 4, that's 7. So now in this column, we need 1s, 3s, and 5s, I believe. And in this column, we need 3s, 7s, and 9s. So this square is only 3 or 9. 3, 7, or 9. 3 or 7. There's no 5 in this domino now. So this is 7, 9, which means this is 3, which means this is 1, 5, which means this is 3. Okay, this should be better now. This is 7, wow, by Sudoku. This is 9 by Sudoku. Right, these squares are a 7, 8 pair, and there's an 8 here. So that's 8, that's 7. 7 lives in one of these 2 cells. Again, just doing plain old Sudoku. Where does 2 go in row 4? It can only go there. So this must be a 1. That fixes a 7 here. So now we've got a 1, 3 pair. We now know the digits at the bottom of column 4 have to be 4, 5, and 6. We know these digits have to be 1, 2, and 5. We've got a 0 remainder. Oh. So that's totally still unresolved. That can go either way round. Oh, 7, 9 here means that's a 5, so that's a 9. That should be good somehow, maybe. No. Oh, this 5 is doing some work. 5 and 1 go in the grid. So 1 has to make its appearance in one of these 3 cells in box 6. And these squares have got to be from 2, 4, and 6, and that might not be resolved. That's not 6, that's not 2. Okay. But... no. I was about to say we know what this is because we need a 1 remainder, so it's going to be an 8. But that removes the possibility of this being a 4 and that being a 9, which would work. 9 divided by 4 has got a 1 remainder. 2 with 1 remainder. Okay. This one, 5 divided by 4, 8 divided by 7. No, that's okay. That's not a 2. Okay, well now I am actually, I think, a bit stuck about where to look next. There's probably something obvious that I'm missing. Maybe this row, 4 6s and 7s into these cells. So I want to say that's going to flip the parity, but this puzzle has discombobulated me to such an extent that I'm a bit nervous about stating that with certainty. This 2 domino, is that useful? Can't have 4, 5 or 6. Ooh. Yeah, because we need a remainder of 2, the divisor here must be at least a 3, but it can't be 4, 5 or 6. Oh, and it can't be 7, 9. That's beautiful. It can't be 7, 9 because that would break. So it can't be anything apart from having a 3 on it. So 3 is the divisor. And it's not 3, it's not going to give us a 5, is it? Oh, have I broken it again? Or is it this 3, 8 thing again? No, it's the 3, 8 thing again. Because this can't be 3 and 5, and yet 3 must be on the domino, it's got to be 3, 8. The 3, 8 thing is so easy to miss. So this is 4, this is 8, this is 3, this is 1. And that presumably, that 4 is doing that nice work. So that gives me a 4, 6 pair here. This square here has got to be a 7 or a 9 by Sudoku, and there's a 7 in the row, so that's a 9. And that's a 7, and that's a 9. And these squares have got to be 1, 2, and 7. And that's not 7. But this doesn't seem to be resolved by anything over here. 8, look, has to go down. 8 has to go in the domino at the bottom, which has got a 2 on it. That's probably one of these 3, 8 things again. No, it could be 6, 8, couldn't it? Okay, so let's think about this now. 9. 9 here gives me a 9 there. 9 and 6. 9 must be, oh, 9 must be in one of those 2 cells. Now, can you put, oh yes you can, 9 with 4 would work here. If that's a 9, this can't be an 8. Oh, but it can be a 4 again. Does that mean that there's either a 4 here or a 4 here in the finished grid? It might do. This square here is not a 6. Oh, there's not a 6 now in here for the 8 domino. Now, okay, so we need an 8 on here, giving rise to a 2 remainder. So 8 divided by 6 would have worked, but doesn't. Nothing else will work apart from this, the bamboozling 3, 8 combination, which doesn't actually do anything. Ah, no it does. Where does 3 go in column 7? It's got to go here. Because it can't go in those 3. And it can't go in those 3. So now these cells have to be from 1, 4 and 6 by Sudoku. And now we can say that is it this digit we've got to look at next? It probably is. Okay, let's think about this digit. So this digit has to have a remainder of 2 when, so it could be 5. It can't be 8 again. So it's either, so if this is 3, this is 5. If this is 8, this needs to be 6. So if this is 5 or 6, do we know what's going on with the world? The answer appears to be no. Okay, that's a bit disappointing, isn't it? So, how do we finish this puzzle off? That is our question for the day. So this cell is 1, 4, or 5 by the medium of sudoku. Do we know what that digit is now? If that's a 4. Yeah, that's not 7 anymore. Because if that's 7, 7 and 4 should have a 3 relationship, so that's a 5. So this is 1, 7. So now 1 in this column has to be in one of these 3 squares, which can't be on the domino, because you can never generate a 1 remainder with a 1 here. That's not a 5 anymore by sudoku. So this is down to 1 or 4, which doesn't help us. 1, 7 here. 7. Yes, it's the same with 7. 7 has to have a home in one of these 2 cells. And presumably there's a way that we can know the answer to this. Oh dear. I don't know. I think we are literally going to have to pencil mark almost everything for me to be able to work out what's going on here, I'm afraid. So where should we start with that exercise? Let's start with this column. So this digit has got to be a 1, a 4, a 6, or a 7. And it can't be a 1. We've worked that out. So it's a 4, a 6, or a 7. Now, and then it's going to flip parity to get to this digit, which is the same as this, isn't it? I don't really want to, I have to say, I don't really fancy pencil marking this. It just feels too cumbersome. I will do it if I get totally and utterly stuck, but I don't feel like that's a nice way to finish the puzzle. Let's think about whether or not, there's probably a clue I've not used. That's my thinking. Where is the clue I've not used? So if this is a 9, this would have to be a 4. So why is that impossible? That would put this an 8 here and a 3 here. Oh, 3 here. Sorry, look, 3 here, 8 here, 8 here, 4 here. That's not a 4. And that does it. So it's just bad Sudoku by me. This 3 is locking out a 4 from this square, which is forcing this square not to have the ability to be 9 anymore, because 9 divided by 6 or 7 doesn't leave a 1 remainder. So the 9 shifts here, where this square now has to be a 4, which means this is a 1, 6 pair, which means this is a 4, this is a 6, and that's a 7 of all things, which means that's a 7, that's a 1, that's a 1, that's a 6. That's a 5, which is probably going to do some work on this clue. Yeah, 5 and 8 don't go together. They'd have a 3 remainder. So this is the 3, this is the 8, this is the 8, this is the 5. And now have we done this somehow, surely? We've got 9 and 3 at the top of the grid. Oh no, we haven't quite done that. This square is now either a 2 or a 6, so this square is either a 2 or a 6, both possible, of course. This square is not 6 anymore, so this square is 2 or 4. That is better. There's a 4 here, so this has to be 2. This has to be 4. That's got to be 6. That's got to be 2. That's got to be 6. Now, what? That means that's 7, and 7 divided by 2 does leave a remainder of 1. And it gives us a 1, 2, 7 here, and a 5 here, and a 2 here, and a 1 here, and a 4 here, and a 1 here, and a 5 here, and a 6 and a 4. And I want to say, yay! We did it. Very, very clever puzzle indeed. Playmaker 6174. As usual, I would expect nothing else. Just some beautiful ideas. The way that the 3 dominoes got disambiguated was very cute indeed, and I really liked well, actually, did I really like what happened in box 5? I'm not sure I did, But it was really clever. The way that these were all pinched to be odd digits, and then I was looking at this one going, but it can't be a 1, it can't be a 1, and indeed it wasn't, because I'd overlooked the possibility of 8 divided by 3 having a 2 remainder. I don't know why, but I did, repeatedly. So forgive me, and forgive me as well for not noticing that 3 disambiguated that. These things are sent to try us, especially me. But I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Do let me know in the comments. I do enjoy them, especially when they're kind, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.